The Earth ship that disappeared has returned. Its technology terrified the empires. The starship Valor had been on a routine mission for almost 3 weeks. Captain Ethan Harris stood on the bridge, looking at the endless stretch of stars outside the wide observation window. He loved this view. The stars were quiet, calm, and full of possibilities. His crew moved around the bridge with quiet efficiency. Pilot Claire Miller checked the ship's course, her hands steady on the controls. Engineer Ryan Bell was reviewing the energy systems, making sure nothing was wrong. Scientist Laura James was scanning nearby space for anomalies, curious as always. The mission seemed simple. They were exploring an uncharted sector at the edge of human space. There were no known threats, no reports of alien activity. The Valor had gone on many missions like this before. Yet something about this trip felt different. Ethan could not explain it. The stars seemed darker in some places, and faint energy readings kept appearing and disappearing on Laura's screen. "Captain," Laura said, pointing at her console, "I keep seeing these energy spikes. They don't match anything in our database." Ethan walked over and looked at the screen. The readings were strange, sudden, and unlike anything he had ever seen. "How strong are they?" he asked. "Moderate but stable. They appear for just a few seconds and vanish," Laura explained. Ryan frowned. "If they are energy pulses, they should leave a trace, but they are gone almost as soon as they appear." Claire looked up from her controls. "Maybe it's some kind of space whether we haven't studied yet. Maybe a storm or a pocket of unstable space." Ethan nodded slowly. "Keep monitoring. I want a record of everything. We need to know what we are dealing with." The Valor moved deeper into the sector. The stars seemed to change, too. They appeared brighter and then dimmer, as if someone was turning them on and off. The ship's instruments began to behave strangely. Sometimes the radar would show objects that were not there, and the communication system would crackle with voices that did not belong to the crew. "We are getting interference," Ryan said, his voice tight. "The systems keep fluctuating." Ethan placed a hand on Ryan's shoulder. "Stay calm, focus on the readings, don't panic." Hours passed, and the crew began to notice other changes. The gravity in some sections of the ship felt lighter. Objects on the floor moved slowly on their own. Laura observed these events and became more curious than ever. She approached Ethan. "Captain, these readings, they are not normal. It's like space itself is changing around us," she said, her voice low. Ethan studied her face. He could see the mix of fear and excitement. "We need to be careful, Laura, but also we need to record everything. This could be a major discovery." As they continued, the energy pulses grew stronger. They started to glow around the ship. The Valor seemed to react to the pulses. The shields flickered in colors that were not supposed to exist. The engines hummed with power even when they were idle. "Ryan, check the engines," Ethan ordered. Ryan hurried to the engineering console. "Captain, the engines, they are picking up energy from outside." "It's feeding into our systems. I can't explain it." Claire's eyes widened. "Is it safe?" Ethan took a deep breath. "We can't know yet, but we have to keep moving. Stop now and we may lose this opportunity." The crew exchanged nervous looks. They trusted Ethan, but the unknown was frightening. Even Laura, who loved mysteries, felt a shiver run down her spine. Suddenly, a bright flash appeared outside the ship. The stars around them seemed to bend and stretch. The observation window showed colors that no human had names for. The ship shuddered as if it were alive. "Brace for impact," Ethan shouted, holding onto the railing. The Valor was pulled forward. The stars blurred into lines, and the ship felt as if it was moving faster than light. The crew held on, hearts pounding. After what felt like an eternity, the shaking stopped. "Status report," Ethan demanded, his voice firm. "All systems seem intact," Ryan said, though he sounded shaken. "But the readings outside, they are gone." Laura stared at the screen. "Captain, this sector, it's different. The space here, it is not normal. The energy is alive." Claire swallowed hard. "Alive." "Like a living thing," Laura nodded. "I think so. It reacts to us. It might even be intelligent." Ethan took a deep breath. "Whatever it is, we need to study it. Stay alert, everyone." For days, the Valor drifted through this strange space. Time seemed different. Sometimes it felt like hours had passed, sometimes days, though the clocks showed only minutes. The crew ate when they remembered and slept when they could. They recorded every event, every change. One morning, Laura shouted from her console. "Captain, the energy pulses, they are forming patterns. Symbols may be a message." Ethan walked over. The patterns were indeed strange, geometric, and repeating. He had no idea what they meant, but he felt a strange calm as he looked at them. "Ryan, can the ship analyze it?" Ethan asked. Ryan frowned. "The systems can record it, but we don't have anything to interpret it. It's beyond our understanding." Claire whispered, "Maybe we are not supposed to understand it yet." Ethan nodded slowly. "Maybe, but we have to try." "Laura, keep recording. Ryan, maintain the engines. Claire, plot our course carefully. We can't risk leaving this space in a hurry." As they continued, the Valor encountered more anomalies. Metal walls glowed faintly without explanation. Wires hummed with energy, and lights inside the ship shifted in color like the pulse outside. Then, one evening, a bright figure appeared on the observation window. It was not solid, but it looked like a humanoid shape made of light. The crew froze, unsure of what they were seeing. "What is that?" Claire whispered. Laura's eyes widened. "I think it's trying to communicate." Ethan stepped forward. "Hello," he said slowly. "We are humans. We mean no harm." The figure seemed to respond with flashes of color, forming patterns in the air. Ethan felt a strange understanding pass through him. It was as if the being was showing images, not words. Stars, ships, energy flowing, and finally, the Valor itself being changed. Ryan whispered, "It's touching the ship. I can feel it in the systems." Laura nodded. "It's giving us something, energy, knowledge. I can't explain it." Days passed. The Valor changed subtly but profoundly. The engines absorbed energy from the surroundings. The shields could adapt instantly to threats. The weapon systems began to operate with precision that even the crew could not fully control. The ship felt alive, as if it had become part of the strange space around it. Ethan gathered the crew. "Whatever happened here, we are no longer the same ship we were. We have been changed." Claire looked at him, fear and wonder in her eyes. "Are we in danger?" Ethan shook his head slowly. "I don't know, but we have a chance to learn to grow. We must be careful. We cannot let anyone misuse this." As the Valor continued drifting, the crew began to notice another change. Their understanding of technology deepened. Laura could see patterns in energy flows that had baffled her before. Ryan could intuitively fix systems before they failed. Claire could pilot through impossible situations. Ethan realized that humans had been given tools, not weapons, and knowledge, not instructions. Then, one morning, the Valor broke free from the strange sector. Stars returned to normal, the clocks ticked evenly, and the ship hummed with quiet power. The crew looked around, amazed. "We are back," Ethan said quietly. Laura nodded, her eyes shining. "But we are not the same. We know more, and the ship knows more." Ryan looked at the controls. "Captain, we have to report this. The Empires, they will want to see this." Ethan looked at the stars. "Yes, but we must be ready. They may not understand what we have become." Claire smiled faintly. "Then let them try to understand." The Valor moved forward, faster than it ever could before. The stars stretched, and a new journey began. The crew knew their lives had changed forever. They had disappeared into the unknown, and now they were back. But what they carried would terrify and amaze the galaxy. And far away in distant empires, sensors began picking up the returning ship. Alarms sounded. Fleets were prepared. Reports flew between alien leaders. The humans were back, and no one could predict what this new power would mean. The Valor glided silently through space, calm yet unstoppable. Inside, Ethan, Claire, Ryan, and Laura began preparing for what would come next. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again. The Valor moved silently through deep space. Captain Ethan Harris stood on the bridge, watching the stars stretch into long lines as the ship traveled faster than any human vessel had before. The crew had adapted to the ship's new abilities, but each of them still felt a quiet awe. The ship was no longer just metal and circuits. It seemed to think with them, respond to them, and guide them in ways they could barely understand. "Captain," Claire Miller said, her eyes wide as she studied the navigation console, "I've set a course for human space. We should be arriving at the edge of the colony soon." Ethan nodded. "Good, let's take it slow. We don't know what reactions we might face." Ryan Bell was at the engineering console, hands flying over the controls, though the ship seemed to respond to his thoughts as much as to his commands. "I'm still trying to understand the engines," he said. They are different. I can feel them working with me, not just for me." Laura James, standing near a monitor, added, "And the energy systems outside the ship, they keep feeding us more power. It's limitless, but we can control it." She paused and looked at Ethan. "Captain, when we reach human space, we can't just arrive normally. They won't understand what we have become." Ethan ran a hand over his face. I know we need to be careful, but they need to know we are safe and that we are still humans. We have to show restraint, not force. As they approached the edge of known space, sensors picked up strange signals. Other ships were nearby, but they were alien, not human. Fleets of the Taver and Zenith empires were patrolling the sector. Their vessels were large and armed, but they were not expecting a ship like the Valor. I'm picking up alien fleets, Claire said, her voice steady but tense. They are moving toward us. Ethan's eyes narrowed. Stay calm, let them come, we are not attacking. But be ready for anything. The alien ships approached cautiously. Scanning beams hit the Valor, bouncing off its shields harmlessly. The aliens stopped and exchanged communications in their own language. They could not understand humans, but their weapons systems were prepared to fire. They are trying to read our technology, Ryan said, frowning. But nothing they do is affecting the ship. It's like we are invisible, but not really. Laura added, more than invisible. The ship reacts to them. It adapts. It knows what they are doing even before they do it. Ethan sighed. We can't stay hidden forever. We need to make contact, but carefully. Claire, keep the shields up. Ryan, monitor every pulse. Laura, watch for energy anomalies outside the fleet. We need to be ready for anything. The first alien commander, Nira from the Glim Empire, sent a small ship forward. It approached the Valor slowly, scanning carefully. Ethan watched as it came close, its sensors attempting to read the Valor's systems. It's not working, Ryan muttered. They can't penetrate the shields. It's like the ship is alive. The alien ship stopped at a safe distance. Nira's voice, translated roughly by the human comm system, came through. Humans, we detect your return. State your purpose. Ethan stepped forward. We are returning from a mission. We have no hostile intent. We come in peace, and we carry nothing but our ship and ourselves. The alien commander's sensors continued to examine the Valor. Even with advanced technology, the ship remained a mystery. The shields adapted instantly, the energy systems hummed with unknown power, and the engines showed capabilities far beyond any known propulsion. They will be afraid, Laura whispered to Ethan. They have never seen anything like this. Ethan nodded. Then we must show restraint. We cannot provoke them, but we cannot hide either. We have to demonstrate our control, not our power. The alien ships withdrew slightly, observing. Nira consulted with other commanders across the sector. Reports were sent to the Taver, Zenith, and Glim empires. A council of leaders debated the meaning of the Valor's return. The humans had disappeared years ago, and now they were back, fully intact, with technology that none of the empires could understand. Far away in the council chambers of Zenith, a young leader named Kai looked at the reports. This is impossible, he said. Humans should not be able to return, and yet the ship seems changed. It is stronger, faster, and unpredictable. Another leader, an older strategist named Lara, added, We cannot underestimate them. Even their crew, they have been out there in the unknown, and they may have gained knowledge beyond our understanding. Back on the Valor, Ethan guided the ship closer to the alien fleet, but always at a safe distance. He wanted to show they were not attacking, only returning. The ship hummed softly, as if responding to his intention. The shields glowed faintly, and the engines pulsed with a quiet light. The alien commanders watched nervously as the Valor moved. Some sent smaller probes to test its reactions. The probes were absorbed into the ship's shields, then repelled harmlessly. Every test the aliens tried only demonstrated how different the ship had become. Captain, Claire said, her voice calm but firm, they are still watching, but no one is attacking. They are cautious. Ethan nodded. Good, let's keep it that way. We will make contact on our terms. Ryan studied the energy flows on his console. The ship, it's changing as we approach human space. I think it knows what is waiting for us. It is preparing for them, not for war, but for control. Laura looked at the readings. It's subtle, it's not violent. The ship is showing its strength without threatening anyone directly. It is teaching them to respect us. Ethan smiled faintly. That is exactly what we need. We are not invaders. We are humans returning, but we are humans who have learned something new. As they moved forward, a group of scouts from the Taver Empire approached. They tried to get close enough to scan the ship, but the Valor reacted instantly. Shields expanded and redirected the scans harmlessly. The scouts tried again, but the ship moved in perfect synchronization, keeping them at a safe distance while demonstrating that any attack would fail. The humans have changed, one alien pilot said nervously. They are not like before. Their ship, it is alive. The news spread quickly. The alien empires began sending their fleets toward the Valor not to attack, but to observe. Council members debated quietly, trying to understand what the humans had gained during their absence. Speculation ran wild. Some feared humans could destroy fleets without firing a single weapon. Others argued that humans might have formed alliances with unknown forces beyond the galaxy. Ethan gathered the crew on the bridge. "They are watching us closely," he said. "We need to show them what humans can do, but in the right way. We cannot be careless. One wrong move and they will see us as a threat." Claire nodded. "We will follow your lead, Captain. The ship is with us, not against us." Laura added, "And the knowledge we gained, we can show them just enough to prevent panic, but not so much that they feel threatened. They need to understand restraint." Ryan worked quickly at the engineering console. "I will synchronize the systems with the ship. It will amplify our control, but we must stay focused. The moment we panic, the ship will respond, and it may not follow our intentions exactly." Ethan smiled. "Good, let's proceed carefully. Remember, our goal is to return home, not to fight. We will demonstrate what humans have become, but we will not strike unless absolutely necessary." The Valor moved closer to the edge of the known sector. Alien fleets continued to surround them, but they did not attack. They observed, curious and wary. Small drones tried to analyze the ship's energy systems, but each attempt failed. The ship's shields adapted, the engines shifted energy away from scans, and the weapons systems remained dormant but ready. Then, Ethan decided it was time for the first demonstration. He turned to the crew. "We will show them our capabilities in a controlled way, nothing lethal, just enough for them to see that humans are no longer easy to underestimate." Claire prepared the ship for a complex maneuver. The Valor darted between the alien vessels, moving faster than the aliens could track, performing impossible twists and turns. The fleets watched in disbelief as the ship moved smoothly, shielded and untouchable. Ryan activated a small energy generator on the ship. It sent a pulse that powered up nearby human satellites and stations almost instantly. Laura recorded every detail, noting how the ship absorbed ambient energy and redirected it safely. The alien commanders were speechless. They had never seen a ship react to space itself. They had never seen humans manipulate energy so efficiently. Even the simplest demonstration caused fear and admiration. Nira of Glim finally spoke to her council. "We have underestimated humans. They are different. We cannot approach them like before. We must be cautious." Ethan watched the alien communications carefully. "That is exactly what we want. Respect without provocation. We show our power, but we do not attack. They will learn that humans are careful, intelligent, and unpredictable." The Valor continued toward human space, moving faster and smoother with every step. The alien fleet stayed back, unsure of what to do. Humans had returned, and they were no longer the same. The galaxy was watching, and fear and respect spread through every empire. Inside the ship, the crew looked at each other quietly. They were proud, but also aware of the responsibility they carried. What they had learned in the unknown sector gave them power beyond measure, but also a duty to use it wisely. Ethan whispered, "We are home. Soon the rest of the galaxy will see what humans have become, and they will have to think twice before challenging us." The Valor glided through space, calm and powerful, carrying its crew into a future full of uncertainty, wonder, and the beginning of a new era for humanity. The alien empires prepared quietly, fleets at the ready, but uncertain. They had witnessed humans return with unmatched power and knowledge. No one knew what would happen next, but one thing was certain. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again. The Valor moved steadily toward the inner sectors of human space. Captain Ethan Harris stood on the bridge, watching the stars shift outside the observation window. The alien fleets continued to follow at a distance, curious and cautious, but the humans had already made it clear that they were not aggressive. The crew had grown more confident with the ship's new abilities. They understood it better now, and it seemed to understand them. "Captain," Claire Miller said, "I can take the ship through the asteroid field near the border. It will be faster than the normal route, and the aliens cannot follow closely without risk." Ethan nodded. "Good. Show them what humans can do, but carefully. We want respect, not panic." Claire smiled faintly and guided the Valor into the asteroid field. The ship moved with precision, weaving between large rocks at speeds no other vessel could match. The shields glowed softly, adjusting automatically as the ship avoided collisions. The alien commanders watched nervously. None of their ships could follow this path safely. "This is incredible," Laura James said, her eyes wide as she looked at the asteroid scans. "The ship adapts to everything automatically. It predicts movements before they happen." Ryan Bell at the engineering console nodded. "And the energy systems are responding to the environment. We are not just surviving the field, we are using it to power the ship." Ethan watched the display. "Good, keep control, but don't push the ship too far. We need it intact for human space." As they emerged from the asteroid field, the Valor approached the first human outpost near the border. Sensors detected unusual energy readings. Human ships and stations immediately recognized the Valor. Alarms rang, and communications opened. "Valor, this is the outpost command," a voice called. "Identify yourself, you were lost years ago." Ethan stepped forward. "This is Captain Ethan Harris. We are returning from a deep space mission. We are unharmed and our ship is intact. We carry no threats." The outpost commander hesitated. "Your ship, it is different. Your shields, your energy readings, they are unlike anything we have seen." Ethan nodded. "We were changed in the unknown sector. We will explain everything. Please prepare to receive us safely." The Valor docked at the outpost, and the crew began showing human personnel the changes in the ship. The shields could expand to cover nearby ships. The engines could make instant maneuvers impossible for other vessels. Energy systems could repair damaged structures almost instantly. Human engineers and scientists were amazed and cautious. "How is this possible?" one young engineer asked. "This technology, it is beyond anything we knew." Laura smiled. "We discovered it in a space sector beyond known human charts. The energy there, it is alive. It helped the ship change and it gave us new knowledge." Ryan added, "The ship responds to our thoughts. We can control it intuitively and it can handle dangers before we notice them." The news of the Valor's return spread quickly. The Galactic Council, including alien empires, received reports of humans returning with a transformed ship. Fleets from Taver, Zenith, and Glim began moving toward human space, not to attack, but to observe and understand what humans had become. Ethan called a meeting with his crew. "We have to show them what humans can do, but carefully. We are not here to fight, but to demonstrate skill and control." Claire nodded. "I can perform maneuvers with the ship that no one else can. We can show precision, not violence." Laura added, "And I can explain some of the energy control we learned. It is impressive but not threatening if we show it right." Ryan looked at the systems. "I can demonstrate adaptive systems. Our ship can change weapons and shields instantly to respond to any threat. They need to understand we are prepared but not aggressive." Ethan smiled. "Then let's begin." The Valor moved into open space near the Council observation area. The alien fleets watched cautiously. Ethan gave the order and Claire piloted the ship through a series of impossible maneuvers. The Valor spun, twisted, and glided with perfect precision. Shields expanded and contracted in response to invisible forces, energy pulsed softly from the ship, and systems worked together flawlessly. The alien commanders whispered among themselves. "They are not like before," one said. "Their ship, it thinks, it reacts, and it is fast beyond imagination." Nera of Glim, observing from her flagship, spoke to her council. "Humans are unpredictable. Their ship is alive. We cannot approach them like before. We must reconsider any plan of attack." Ethan allowed the demonstration to continue, showing humans and aliens alike that the Valor was powerful, but under complete control. Laura then demonstrated a small device that could redirect energy from one system to another instantly. She powered up a nearby damaged station, showing that the humans could help, not just fight. "They are demonstrating restraint," Ryan said quietly. "They have power, but they are careful. That is unusual for humans in battle." Ethan nodded. "We want them to respect us, not fear us completely. If they see humans as uncontrollable, it will only make the galaxy nervous." The alien fleets continued to observe. Taver ships tried small attacks with energy beams, but the Valor adapted instantly. Shields deflected the attacks harmlessly, and the ship redirected energy to maintain stability. Each test failed, showing that humans were not only capable but precise and controlled. "They are masters of adaptation," Laura whispered. "They will not panic or make mistakes." "This is something no empire has faced before." Ethan gathered his crew. We have shown them enough for now. We cannot reveal everything. If we do, they may become too cautious or worse, aggressive. Restraint is our strength. Claire looked at him. What about the fleets following us? They will report everything we did. Ethan nodded. Yes, they will, but they will also see that humans are intelligent and careful. They will learn that attacking us is dangerous and unnecessary. The Valor continued through human space, docking at various stations and outposts. The crew allowed others to see the ship's capabilities in controlled demonstrations, repairing damaged satellites instantly, performing maneuvers in dangerous asteroid fields, and showing adaptive shields that could protect multiple vessels at once. Humans were amazed. Scientists recorded every detail, and engineers studied the new systems. The Valor was no longer just a lost ship returning. It had become a symbol of human ingenuity and resilience. The alien fleets continued to follow at a distance, still cautious but curious. Some commanders tried to communicate with the Valor directly. Ethan and his crew answered carefully, showing that humans could negotiate and reason. The aliens quickly realized that humans were not just powerful, but smart and disciplined. They are unlike any other species we have faced, Neera said. They are strong, intelligent, and restrained. We cannot predict their next move, and that makes them dangerous. Ethan allowed the Valor to demonstrate one final capability. He directed the ship to lift an old, decommissioned station from orbit and reposition it gently on a nearby planet. The demonstration showed precision, strength, and control without harming anyone. Laura smiled. This shows them what we can do without violence. They can see our power, but also our discipline. Ryan nodded. They will respect humans after this. They may still fear us, but fear is better than underestimating us. Ethan turned to his crew. We are done here for now. The demonstrations are enough. The galaxy knows humans have returned, and we have shown that we are not to be taken lightly. Claire looked at the stars. And yet we have only begun. There is so much more we can learn, so much more we can explore. Ethan smiled. Yes, but first we must establish our place. Humans are back, and the galaxy must recognize that we are no longer weak, no longer predictable, and no longer to be ignored. As the Valor moved on, the alien fleets continued to observe, recording every detail. The reports to their empires were urgent and cautious. Humans had returned, and their ship was alive with power, intelligence, and restraint. The galaxy would never see humanity the same way again. Inside the ship, Ethan, Claire, Ryan, and Laura discussed the next steps. They knew that humans were now a force to be respected, but they also understood the responsibility that came with such power. They had to continue exploring, learning, and preparing for the future. The Valor was no longer just a ship. It was a symbol of human potential, and it carried the crew into a new era of discovery and influence. The stars stretched ahead, full of unknown possibilities. Humans had returned, transformed, and ready to face the galaxy on their own terms. And far away, the alien empires continued to watch, wary, respectful, and silently fearful of what humans might do next. The Valor moved steadily through human space, carrying Captain Ethan Harris and his crew toward the heart of the colonies. The ship had become more than a vessel. It was a living machine that responded to their thoughts, guided by intuition and power. Humans everywhere watched as the ship returned, and the news spread quickly to the alien empires beyond the borders. Captain, Claire Miller said, we are approaching the largest human hub. This is where we can show the full capabilities of the ship safely. Ethan nodded. Good, we must show them that humans are capable but also responsible. We cannot appear threatening, only competent and prepared. Ryan Bell studied the engineering displays. The ship is ready. We can perform multiple operations at once. Shields, engines, energy distribution, even minor repairs outside the ship. Everything is connected. We can demonstrate without risk. Laura James looked at the star charts. And the aliens are still observing. Fleets from Taver, Zenith, and Glim are following us quietly. They will see everything we do. Ethan placed a hand on the console. Then we give them a demonstration of what humans have learned. Controlled power, precision, and intelligence. As the Valor approached the hub, humans on the stations below watched in amazement. News channels transmitted live images, showing the ship performing impossible maneuvers above the planet. The shields adapted to sudden energy pulses, protecting the ship and nearby satellites. The engines moved the ship faster than any vessel before, twisting through space with smooth control. They have changed, a young engineer on the ground said. The humans, they are not the same as before. This ship is alive. Ethan allowed Claire to perform a complex series of maneuvers. The Valor moved through a tight asteroid belt near the hub, dodging rocks with speed and accuracy that left observers speechless. The shields glowed softly, bending light around the ship, and the energy systems adjusted automatically to maintain balance. Ryan directed a pulse of energy from the ship to the nearby satellite network. Damaged satellites reactivated instantly, and small repairs occurred without human hands. Laura recorded every movement, noting the precision and control of the energy. "This is incredible," she whispered. "The ship can adapt to every situation, and the crew controls it without struggle. They are perfect together." Ethan addressed the observation screens. "We return not to conquer, but to demonstrate human ability. We have learned from the unknown sector, and we bring knowledge, control, and restraint. We are prepared, but we seek peace and cooperation." The alien fleets continued to watch. They had prepared for battle, but they now understood that humans were not aggressive. Their ship could destroy entire fleets if necessary, yet the humans chose restraint. The demonstration alone showed that humans were intelligent, disciplined, and capable of responding to any threat. Nera of Glim, observing from her flagship, whispered to her council, "These humans, they are unlike anything we expected. Their ship thinks it adapts, it responds, and yet they are careful, controlled. This is dangerous." Kai of Zenith added, "We underestimated them. They are strong, smart, and disciplined. Attacking them would be a mistake." Back on the Valor, Ethan gathered the crew. "We need to show them cooperation as well as power. We can demonstrate what humans can contribute to the galaxy, not just what we can defend ourselves with." Laura smiled. "I can help with energy systems. We can power their stations and ships safely, show that humans can be valuable allies." Ryan nodded. "And I can demonstrate adaptive technology. Our systems can repair or improve alien ships without causing damage." "They will see humans are helpful as well as capable," Claire added, "and I can show maneuvers for protection, rescue, and support. The aliens will see humans are precise and careful, not reckless." Ethan agreed. "Good, then let's begin the next demonstration." The Valor extended a protective energy field around the largest human hub. Satellites, stations, and nearby vessels were now shielded against space debris, solar storms, and sudden energy surges. Humans watched as the ship moved with precision, repairing damaged systems and stabilizing unstable stations instantly. Alien fleets observed silently. Every movement was calculated and controlled. No energy was wasted, no systems were left vulnerable. The aliens realized that humans were no longer weak, nor were they reckless. They were disciplined, capable, and unpredictable. "This is remarkable," Nera whispered. "They can protect entire structures without causing harm. Their power is unparalleled." Kai added, "We must approach this carefully. Humans are not just strong. They are intelligent and responsible. We cannot misjudge them." Ethan allowed the ship to perform another demonstration. He guided it to lift a damaged orbital station, previously abandoned, and reposition it safely on a nearby planet. The maneuver showed strength, precision, and care. No one was harmed, and the operation took only minutes. Laura recorded the entire event. "This shows them restraint, power, and intelligence together. They will remember this." Ryan activated adaptive systems, showing that even if energy sources fluctuated, the ship could maintain stability and efficiency. The aliens observed every detail, trying to understand, but failing to replicate the precision humans had achieved. Claire piloted the ship through another complex demonstration, simulating rescue operations. Small vessels were in danger, and the Valor moved in, lifting them to safety with ease. The shields protected both the ship and the smaller craft, energy systems adjusted automatically, and the maneuvers were executed flawlessly. Ethan spoke to the observation screens. "We show these demonstrations not to boast, but to explain our ability. Humans are strong, but we are disciplined. We can protect, assist, and explore, but we will not harm unless provoked." Humans watching from the hub cheered quietly. Scientists, engineers, and civilians marveled at the ship's capabilities. Alien fleets continued to observe, cautiously impressed and respectful. Nera finally spoke to her council. "We cannot attack them. Humans have power we cannot challenge, and yet they show restraint. We must respect them and negotiate carefully," Kai agreed. This changes everything. Humans are no longer weak. They are capable, disciplined, and intelligent. We must adapt our approach to the galaxy. Back on the Valor, Ethan gathered the crew. We have done well. The galaxy has seen humans return, and we have shown strength, intelligence, and restraint. But our work is not done. We must continue to explore, to learn, and to establish our place responsibly. Laura nodded. And we can continue helping others safely. Humans are no longer just explorers. We are a force for stability and understanding. Ryan smiled. And we can show that technology does not need to be weaponized. We can solve problems without conflict. Claire added, and humans are ready for anything. We have learned, we have adapted, and we are prepared to lead if necessary. Ethan looked at the stars outside the observation window. Yes, we are humans and we are back. The galaxy has changed and we have changed with it. We will continue our journey, wisely and carefully, but the Empires now know, humans are no longer to be ignored. The Valor moved forward, leaving the hub behind. Human colonies, alien observers, and distant fleets all recorded the events. The crew knew that the galaxy would never be the same. Humans had returned, powerful and disciplined, with knowledge and technology that terrified and impressed the Empires alike. Inside the ship, Ethan, Claire, Laura, and Ryan discussed their future. They knew the galaxy held dangers, but also opportunities. Humans had proven that they could handle the unknown, control incredible power, and act responsibly. The Valor was more than a ship. It was a symbol of human potential and ingenuity. Ethan spoke quietly to his crew. Our mission has just begun. Humans have returned, and the galaxy will remember us. We must continue to explore, to learn, and to lead with wisdom. Power alone is not enough. Restraint, intelligence, and cooperation will guide us into the future. The crew nodded, understanding the weight of their journey. The Valor glided through space, calm, powerful, and ready for what lay ahead. The stars stretched endlessly before them, full of mystery and opportunity. Humans had returned, and nothing in the galaxy would ever see them the same way again. The alien empires prepared quietly, fleets at the ready, but now with respect and caution. Humans had proven their power, their intelligence, and their restraint. The galaxy had changed. A new era had begun, and humanity stood at its center. The Valor moved forward into the unknown, carrying humans who were ready to face the future, explore the stars, and show that intelligence, courage, and discipline were just as powerful as weapons. The galaxy had been warned. Humans were back, and the empires would never underestimate them again. And far beyond human space, in distant corners of the galaxy, the reports traveled quickly. Leaders of alien empires whispered in council chambers. Fleets were ready, but none dared challenge the humans directly. The Valor had returned with power, knowledge, and discipline. Humans had changed the rules of the galaxy, and no empire could ignore it. Ethan looked at the stars once more. This is only the beginning. Humanity will explore, protect, and grow. The galaxy will learn to respect us, and someday they may even trust us. The ship hummed softly, alive with energy and intelligence. Humans had returned from the unknown, stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before. The galaxy had witnessed their return, and the future was now wide open, filled with possibilities, challenges, and the certainty that humans had become a force no empire could ignore.